GNT show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discussion is advice. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Star Trek, The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the GNT show. Our continuing mission, to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Naomi Wildman. I was setting it up. Oh. Welcome to the GNT show, where obviously we have no script.
Yeah, let's just get this puppy started.
As always, the beautiful, the lovely, the high-booted, short-skirted, big-breasted TrekLand.
That would be me. Admiral Shaw.
She's badass. It's Ceridium.
Good morning. It's Sunday on the GNT show.
You know the worst part of this morning? It's not the getting up early. It's the fact they're making me wear clothes to do the show.
It's time for coffee clutch.
Strap on your helmets, boys and girls. It's gonna get rough.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those mornings.
Let me put on my seatbelt, my helmet with the little blinky light on top.
For safety.
When we decided we were going to do the GNT show,
Man.
one of the things we said was no standards. GNT show does not go on the air because we're ready. It goes on the air because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Mike could have snapped by then and killed us both. Pain sticks for Mike, evidently.
We have our production meetings on the air.
Well, it's the best way to get you to adhere to things.
Yeah, you've now set an expectation. That's the thing about the GNT show is we set no expectations.
I need more coffee.
Wow,
I'm trying to figure out wher or not I want to do general news or Star Trek news, and I figured
This is
out.
Terry
Okay.
having a series of small
It's news.
strokes, actually.
Well, it doesn't take long for this show to deteriorate, does it?
Straight the fuck downhill.
I don't always podcast, but when I do, I G&T.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the GNT Show, episode 151. I'm Terry Lynn.
Joel Entree suck buckets. What's going on? Terry, why are you wearing... What, I normally never criticize your choice of fashion, but why are you wearing the Olivia Newton-John physical skin-tight outfit today?
Well, because I thought that maybe it would pay, it would pay tribute to last week's show, but also to Mirror Kira.
Oh, the attendant. Nice. Nice. And there he is. By the way, that's Terry, everybody. And to my right, your left. And I think he was playing Monopoly because he's dressed like Mr. Monopoly in Klingon garb. Ceridium.
Kapla.
I like the
I
monocle.
have a song stuck in my head. It's
I like the monocle, though, Mike.
Oh, thank you. It's in tribute to the new Weird Al song that came out this last week that's stuck in my head. Aluminum foil, which is based off the song Royal. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Aluminum foil! Oh, no!
Yeah. It's stuck in this thing.
I have not heard it yet. And
Oh,
now I don't need
hilarious.
to.
I still have... Well, see, it's my own doing. Every Friday in work now, I play Happy by Pharrell Williams, and I dance around the office until they tell me
Good.
to stop, which as soon as they hear the song start, they're like, stop.
Have you heard the Weird Al version? Tacky?
Yeah. But,
Oh,
yeah, so that's...
he's been on a roll this week. Lots of videos.
Well, he was
coming up this
releasing a new song every day.
Yeah,
for
and
the
I
new
think I've
album.
seen them all.
Oh, hey, thank you for... Who put this in? Let me... Because I want... Okay, it was Lanny. Thank you, Lanny, because this was something I wanted to get to. But before we get to that, Terry, I thought of you and our good friend and brother Cushman Zada this week. Did you hear what the NFL has said? They think it's wise. The NFL does. I'm totally against this for a variety of reasons. One, because it's the same reason I don't believe that the Giants and the Jets should play in the same stadium. They think that the Raiders and the 49ers should just both play in the same stadium.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
The latest earthquake in California, that was Al Davis rolling over in his grave.
The
only way that would work is if the stadium was like floating in the middle of the bay.
Well, and it's like the Giants and the Jets are playing in the same, have always played in the same, and that bugs me. No, the Jets had their own plan to build their own stadium, and it fell through. But it's a dumb idea. The 49, now that
No, but
So San
I think it'd be
Francisco
cool though
goes
to
through
have
all
a
of its
floating.
own work.
Well, wait a minute. It's important to note it is not the Oakland Raiders pushing this. This is what the NFL thinks.
Yeah, well,
Are they planning on building a floating stadium? Because I think that'd be like awesome.
That would be cool to have a stadium
smack dab in the middle of the bay.
Personally, right there on Treasure Island, that's what they should have done with it, don't you think, Michael?
Yeah.
The island where the Oakland Bay Bridge and the San Francisco Bay Bridge come together.
And then once a year, they should have have like one of those off-season playoff games. So they're in two totally different leagues, right, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're both AFC and NFC.
Yeah. So they should have like one of those special games where the winner like takes the island for.
You say, they own the island. And at the end of the game, they all dance like the Jets and the Sharks.
The winner gets for the rest of the season gets the stadium decked out in their colors.
No, that's not bad.
That would piss people off.
That's cool. Kind of like every other rivalry in college. Right?
Yeah.
You have the Apple Cup. You have the right?
The Battle of the Bay.
I gotta tell you, this would be the prettiest cup in football.
It would be well, no, that's not necessarily true. It could be the ugliest cup, depending on what your point of view is.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
and since people are Terry, what did you all think of the? Boy, I'm really sorry that I never got started when I wanted to with I Have Issues. What did you think, both of you, of the news that came out of Marvel this week?
I know that a lot of people have some issues with it. I don't really. And the reason why is because I do know background story is that it's the hammer that makes the Thor in the comics. I know it's not the way that Thor is in mythology, but the comics never really did follow the mythology in that way. So Thor happens to be a guy who deserved the hammer. Whoever holds this hammer shall have the power of Thor. And so he was worthy. And now they're going to change it to a woman who will bear the power of Thor. So I'm not necessarily upset about that because there's actually kind of background for that.
But there's already a female Thor
I know.
in
There's
the
like
comics.
a lady Thor or something.
Yeah.
There was also a frog.
I also, now related but off topic, I also heard that they're planning on making Captain America black.
Yeah, the Falcon.
The Falcon.
But this is not the first time somebody else has worn the Captain America suit and taken up the mantle of Captain America. But see, it's going to be the Falcon that makes it.
Right. Yeah, the Falcon takes over Steve's job for a while. So,
right on. Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was okay.
I'll say this about the Thor thing.
Yeah.
The reason they're doing this is because they want to draw more female readers in. I find this version of doing it the most pandering.
Don't disagree.
There's a reason it's the god of thunder. If we want to draw more female readers in, how about we come up with better female characters and or stories, or we highlight more Sif or Valkyrie or any of the other females that are quite intricate in the Thor storyline.
Now, I'd agree with you there. I would just love to have a Sif comic.
Yeah,
That
right?
would be great.
And the problem is, they say, oh, this is permanent. It's not. First of all, nothing in comics is ever permanent.
That's right.
Okay. Second of all, it's not. The longtime readers are not going to take it seriously because there's decades of Thor and this person.
Yeah, it does. It smacks of, like you said, pandering and catering.
Yeah.
To draw an audience that then they'll pull the rug out from underneath them, like they did with the frog. I'm just saying. How many frogs did they draw in as readers?
Yeah, I think there's Terry, I got to tell you, I think there's a difference here. I'm just, don't make me defend them on the whole frog issue, okay? But yeah, I just, and I tweeted, the day after the announcement came, I was like, did you hear Marvel's big announcement today? Black Panther will become an albino from Minnesota. Because let's just swap everything now. It's the whole swapping thing and all of this, you know what? You did it years ago. It's getting old. Yeah. Let's just work on better stories.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Gail Simone left that girl.
Well, she started her own project, honey.
Well, she also had big editorial difference.
Well, yeah, this is not the first time that she's been.
No.
So at least she got to do it on her own terms this time.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her.
I am too. She's still doing Red Sonja and some other stuff.
Right. And she's going to be.
Yeah.
I love she's starting a huge project her own. That's great.
It's a super secret, or she said something like with 6 S's. So, it was like, secret, 6 X's, secret 6 perhaps.
Did you guys see the Snow Buffet in the chat room?
That's very
like
cute.
that. It's
I'm
Snow
still cracking
White.
up with the cat going into the beanbag.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, wait a minute. Speaking of cats, Nick, you got a cat?
I do. Got a July 4th weekend.
I saw the pictures, but I wasn't sure if it was coming home with you or.
No. It's up in.
It's up in the northern offices.
It's in the northern offices.
Okay. Oh, she's very cute.
And his name, T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Right on.
Black Panther.
Love it.
Ooh, Sensei, I'll just put something in the chat room. I can almost see Paul's house. It's right over that line on the east side. I can see my house. Oh my God. Yeah, shit is right.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We have 10,000 white dude comics. What is so wrong with using success of an established title to launch a new take on a character?
I don't think he's saying that.
No, I'm saying write the women comics, the women characters better. Why? How pandering to say the only way a female will become interested in a comic is if it's already a big name.
Why can't you find a way to make an existing character a bigger name? Is it the writing issue?
What? Okay. In this case, let's make Wonder Woman a conjoined male twin with no legs, because after all, we want to reach out to that audience too.
That's not. Well, I don't think that's okay, but I don't mind gender swapping every so often. It keeps things, keeps the conversation lively, and it allows for a different take on character. Somebody said, well, how would you have felt if they had switched it to Kirk during JJ's reboot? I thought, you know what? I probably would have liked it better.
I know, right? No offense to Chris Pine.
Yeah, no offense to Chris Pine, but can you imagine how cool it would have been if they had just said, let's reboot it. Let's really reboot it. Let's turn Kirk into a female. Why not? That would have been awesome.
I want to address Lanny's question, which was in all caps. Lanny was yelling at me. The way Marvel did their reboot and made a whole new character with Ms. Marvel, that is how you do it.
I agree.
That is a great title. And they managed to get some headlines with it by making her Muslim, but the point, it's good writing. How would people feel if Ms. Marvel got the powers? It was a teenage boy who got the powers, and when he turns into the hero, turns into Ms. Marvel. It's a violation of the character. Thor is the god of thunder. It is the god of thunder.
Yeah,
would we make
why isn't it
Isis
okay to say the goddess of thunder?
Because it's the god thunder. Would you make Isis a guy?
Why not? I don't have that same issue, like I said earlier.
Change for change's sake is stupid.
Change for change's sake sometimes brings in new fans. And as much as we hate some of the JJ stuff, what do we keep saying?
No, that's true. But something like this where you alter the very makeup.
Do you think it's going to make him more sensitive to women's needs?
I don't think that the character should revolve about whether or not there's gender needs or not.
No.
As long as the character might, you know how we are. As long as the character is interesting and fun, and now will the writer start dealing with issues that haven't been touched on before because the character is a female? Probably. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
You notice they didn't do it to Loki, who actually it would probably work on better because being the god of mischief.
Careful there.
No. It would be more. But Sif is dying. Sif is such a great character, and Valkyrie is such a great character.
I think that I am not opposed to
since Disney owns Marvel now. Oh my God, the marketing they could do with Sif or Valkyrie or something like that. Although you did see the meme going around, right?
No.
Disney owns Marvel. Marvel has Thor. Thor is now a woman.
Now Thor's a Disney princess and not rockin'.
Thor is a Disney princess.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
I saw that one.
Yeah, I'm okay with Hey, let's face it, Disney needs more Disney princesses that aren't.
It's not like they own the rights to the Barsoom series and the Princess of Mars, but I won't go there again.
That you already did.
Because that one's still just fucking.
I want to hear what Mikey did this week.
I finished chapter 2.
Excellent.
Let's see. I got some work done on materials for Vegas. The presentation that we had done, I stripped that down to basics.
Nice.
So that should convey what we need to convey about our show only. And then I'm working on a video with everyone's boundary missions this week, and hopefully we'll be ready for Vegas.
So I spoke with James Kerwin last night.
Hold on.
Are we in trouble?
Hold on. Lanny says she says she's pissed off with people bitching about the torch being passed to someone with a vagina. Because you're misunderstanding my objection to this. To me, this is not about it. It's about the pandering that they're doing.
Because eventually what they'll do is they'll change Thor back to a man. And then what will it have done? But poo-poo the idea that Thor should have been a woman anyway.
And
I agree with him on that point.
And switching Starbuck from a male to a female in Battlestar Galactica, there is no correlation. You're talking about a series that ran for one season and then was rebooted 30 years later. You're not talking about a title that has been going on for decades. Yeah, I know. And it goes back to the whole thing again. Would I have minded so much with a reboot? I don't mind that they are changing Thor to a woman in a reboot. Are they pandering? Yes, absolutely they're pandering. As long as what's going to happen if they do draw in a female audience because they've changed Thor to a woman, what's going to happen to that female audience when they take it away, especially if the character is written very well. I agree with you on that point. In comics, it's a little bit different because what they're trying to do is draw in a female audience to do what? Read their male characters again once they take away the female characters? I'm not appreciative of that. The Battlestar Galactica works because, as far as we know in standing history right now, and it was a complete and utter reboot of a 1970s television show to one that was more modern. Yes, they gender switched Starbuck, but they kept they also gender switched Boomer.
Right, and they kept her. So she is the Starbuck of the most recent and the whole show, and she never changed. And it's not like they put Starbuck back as to being a man. Now, would they again in another reboot? Possibly. Turn Six into a guy?
Ooh. Don't even. How dare you? This is going off a conversation Terry and I were having with some others during the week about Caprica 6.
You were going to say something earlier.
Go.
No, you were about in response to what I had said. And
I spoke with James Kerwin last night.
Are we in trouble?
No.
Okay.
No.
Mike was
He's
popping
so
more
awesome,
blood pressure.
you guys. You have no idea. James Kerwin he's the coolest guy. They're going to be...
And swarthy.
Although now that we understand the definition of swarthy, are we really going to come?
No, I'm rebooting the word swarthy.
Okay, what are we going to use instead?
No, I'm rebooting
Suave? Okay, Suave. I'd say Suave. He's a doll. Well, he calls... Because we're finalizing stuff for Las Vegas, and he wants to make sure that we're all set. And he's bringing RUR Genesis material and trailers for us to show at the site or at the booth. And come to find out, did you know that he's a Foundry author?
What?
Mike, do you need to lay down for a few minutes?
He said that he spent most of the release of season 9.0 redoing all of his Foundry missions to bring them up to snuff. And now that Heroes put in all of these new assets and ships, he's thinking about doing it again. So yeah, he's a Foundry author.
Oh wow!
He's very excited to see the trailers that everybody is sending us. So if you guys want to send me a trailer, go ahead. I'll find a way to play it.
I haven't created the video yet.
He goes, "What do you mean Foundry trailers?" And he goes, "You mean people make their own trailers?" And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "I need to see these. I need to make one for my Foundry missions." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how to use demo record and stuff like that. So Paul, he knows that Kirkfat's going to be there, and he wants to meet you guys and learn how to record his own trailers. Sweet. Directed by James Kerwin.
So what's his username or what's his ad handle? Because I want to check out some of his missions now.
We'll have to find out. I haven't asked him because you don't necessarily go up to somebody that you adore and go, "God, what's your hat? What's your ad handle?" Actually, I know it. I'll give it to you.
Well, he dropped such a bombshell that he's a Foundry author. I mean, come on. That's like begging for people to come play.
I do know his ad handle, and I will give it to you, and then you can pass it along the line if you know what I mean. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Nick, what you were not shooty time today. That's good.
Yeah, it was oh God, what a brutal week at work.
Yeah.
Oh, just some kind of just normal stuff, but I don't want to get fired.
Yeah, then let's pass on.
No. There's some normal stuff that happened, but for some reason, people at higher ranks wanted to stick their fingers into the pie to see how it was made when there was no need for them to.
Was the pie done yet?
The pie was done. The pie was sold, and the pie was eaten. And then they decided to say, "Tell me exactly how you did the ingredients." And it was, well, the way we do it for every time we make a pie. But then we had some excitement. In the course of scraping some dirt and doing some stuff, we discovered several unexploded ordnance from 30 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So we had to get some EOD down to blow it. That was fun. But you know what? It truly was fun because it wasn't the normal duty day, and the adrenaline was going. And when I say I was in crisis mode, not because it was a crisis, but it's a short-term, high visibility thing that's going on. And since my boss wasn't there, I was in charge, so got to deal with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't a bad thing at all.
Okay.
It was one of those things where you go into your muscle memory of dealing with situations, especially since all my dealings with that have happened overseas and it's never happened here. I got to educate people in the office on what like the term UXO means and what the process is and what everybody has to go through and all of that stuff. So
interesting.
It was also a very teachable moment.
Oh, good. Turn a negative into a positive. What did I? It was a really, really weird week at work, but it was also very fun. They're getting ready for like a big our board. We're operated by a board of directors of how do I say this? There's like 420 Native American tribes that own us, and of the 420 Native American tribes that own our company, they vote on a local representative to represent the district that they're from, and then each representative of the district is a member of our board. And then once every quarter, we have a big board meeting. So the board members are flying in on Monday for our quarterly report. So, of course, the whole office kind of gets into that whole, okay, we're reporting to the shareholders kind of thing. And so we've been in serious mode for a week. And we're
time to scrub the decks and...
I'm actually looking forward to it because I haven't met the board. I haven't met the board yet. So it'll be very fun for me to meet the people I work for. But it's also a little bit stressful. You can see it in the, you can see it in your superior's eyes. Like, oh my God, I've been dealing with, and it's all numbers, right? So all of their reports are numbers. They're reporting the financials. And so my bosses unfortunately had a little glazed over look for the past week.
You're in my head.
Shell shock?
Yeah, he's pretty funny. You could just see it. He took Friday off because he was just so bowled over. I just felt really bad for him. I'm glad I don't have his job.
What's going on with that company that he's so worried about the numbers?
No, it's just the number of numbers.
Oh.
He's just glazed to us like the number of numbers. Like, oh my God, I'm tired of looking at numbers. And then we met the gentleman who's going to be house dog sitting for us. We had dinner with him last night. Wait
a minute. Somebody else is watching the animals?
Well, you can't because you're going to be with us.
That's a good point. Put this person on Skype with me, please, because I want to approve them.
Yeah, well, you will. He's going to come in the night before.
All right.
And he'll meet us then. And I even told him, I said, my friend Nick will want to meet you.
I'm going to wear like a lab coat and glasses. Please sit down. I want to talk to you.
I need a
but I read like a maniac this week.
I saw that.
So we'll talk about that because oh my God.
Okay, and then I'll save my reading for
we're gonna be talking about the fault and some other stuff today because okay.
My brain's starting to wake up. So
let's get to some Star
Tell
Trek.
me what that's like, Mike, because I've never had that happen.
It's kind of painful, actually. All right, let's go.
Star Trek news. I am so proud to be a talkie geek.
We've got our problems with the film, which we'll get into on our dopey little podcast and nitpick it to death.
Star Trek news.
So congratulations to the always dreamy David Mack.
There's Legos?
No. Star Trek news.
Yes, the story behind the story. The movie that never was made.
They got a Klingon!
I know.
Sold.
That's right. I'm going to throw in a Buck Mackay rookie guard. That's right. A Buck Mackay. People, it doesn't get any bigger than this.
Star Trek news.
All right. I just posted this on Facebook this morning, or last night, actually. The guys over at 5 Year Mission posted it, and I thought it was hilarious. For those who want probably the most ridiculous thing ever, there is a van, a 1978 van conversion that's for sale in, I think it's British Columbia, somewhere in New York or in Canada. I don't think it'll be legal in most places in the U.S. because it has boobies on it. But it is a Star Trek van. Believe it or not, this is a Star Trek piece of news. But you guys have to check this thing out. It has the Enterprise on one side with a planetary scene. On the other side, there is a heavy metal Spock who's...
Is there any other kind?
Hugged by a bare-chested woman. Yeah. It is the quintessential tacky Star Trek van. But it's so tacky, it's beautiful. And it even has like the red velvet interior with the mattress. It's just...
Is there any other kind?
This brings back so many memories from my childhood.
Mine too. I'm sorry, man.
And as you're laughing at that, I'm dying inside at the what you thinking that Lanny just put up with Bane.
Oh my God, this makes me laugh so hard. So I threw it up on Facebook and said that I would totally throw in a $10 bill for this to get it for 5 Year Mission to make it their tour band.
I was thinking if we got it, could you imagine road tripping to Vegas in that?
Oh God, too funny.
If you see the Starship Enterprise are rocking.
This thing better freaking sell for more than he's asking for, because I'm just saying it's in beautiful condition for as hellish as it is. Oh my God,
see the Starship a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
That's right. Oh, it's just all right. Now, have you guys seen this beautiful new replica of the phaser?
Yes,
it's so pretty. I'm putting the link in the chat room right now.
Is that the one that comes in the hard in the travel case as well?
I think so. It doesn't say how do I say this? The article that I'm posting is from CNET. It only has the one picture, the very detailed picture of a close-up. So I don't know if it comes in its own.
I think it does come in its own case, and you can actually take it apart. Like the handle snaps off, and then the base, and it's got it's like a field kit. You bring it in, you open it up, you assemble your weapon, and then you shoot the Chancellor.
Oh, I like it.
See where the Klingon goes right away? To killing the Chancellor.
Well, we all know it wasn't a real Klingon.
Well, it's a universal remote too. This phaser.
The Helmag is a separate one.
Is the one I put in there is actually like a universal remote. You can control your television with it.
Yeah,
I've seen this one, and let me see if they could be the same one, but let me double check, see if I can track down the other.
Okay, because this one I just thought that was kind of trippy. You point the phaser at your television cable box. Would be awesome. Now, latest news: Star Trek engine goes where no one has gone before. The world's largest laser, a machine that has appeared in Star Trek movie, has gained a powerful result. It squeezed a diamond 50 times harder than Earth's atmosphere presses down it. Its squeezed diamond, the last compressible substance known, 50 million times harder than Earth's atmosphere. The findings should help scientists better understand how material behaves at the great pressures that prevail in the deep inside giant planets. So, the National Ignition Facility subjected diamond to extreme pressures, and it's kind of freaking cool.
I found it. It is the same one.
It is
the remote. I'm putting the link in that has the picture to the travel case.
Oh, very cool.
And
look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's a whole set of different ones. It's even got the what's the
it assembles, Terry.
Yeah, it assembles. It's got
because the small one is the phaser type 1, and when you put the power pack and the type 1 on the top of it, then it becomes a type 2.
Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty nice, and it's
really
a remote control, so even better.
Oh, that's really fun. I like that. Oh, puppy.
Aww.
I know, fuzzy puppy. All right, next, I saw this, and I thought it was
Roberto
also very
Orsi has been in the news a lot lately too.
It's the same stuff, though. I think he's
doing the rounds.
He is. He's.
Well, he also he got an award, or was it either got an award or was at a forum for Latin. I have to look it up because one of them he was talking at a thing for like Latin writers.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm putting another thing in the chat room. Diamond Select, as everybody knows, makes some really cool starship models and other action figures and stuff for Star Trek. And StarTrek.com has just announced that Diamond Select is doing the Enterprise A, a 16-inch model, which features all new light, sound, and paint based on the Undiscovered Country version of the ship. It is beautiful, as their materials and their stuff are. So it does not say that it already released. Yes, it already released. So hopefully I'll pick one. That's a nice ship. I also wanted to talk briefly about, last week I made a mention about Starship Collectibles, the Starship Collection.
I saw the Valdor.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait for the Valdor. Boy, isn't that pretty?
Beautiful.
Oh, it's pretty. And last week I mentioned a little thing about me running into a little bit of a snag. Remember I told you that I subscribed to the Starships collection, and when you subscribe, you get a bonus ship, and it's the USS Enterprise D. So the first ship that you get is the USS Enterprise D, but the first subscription package that you get has the USS Enterprise, which is the refit, but it's not the A, all right? So
Correct. It's from Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Right. Well, that's the ship that arrived at my house that had the broken nacelle. So I contacted them, and there was an unfortunate misunderstanding, and they thought that the nacelle on the Enterprise D model had broken, which was the bonus ship. So they sent me a new Enterprise D model, and then I felt like an asshole going, oh my God, I have this Enterprise D model I don't need, but I still really want the Enterprise 1701 refit. Do you mind? I don't mind paying for it and they were like, oh, no, it was our mistake. You keep it. So my gain will be a G&T show listener's gain. And I have a beautiful Starship Collections Enterprise D, which is the bonus ship that you get for subscribing. We're going to come up with some kind of a contest or something.
Maybe you could get it signed at Vegas.
I'm thinking I'm going to take...
Oh, I was going to ask, is it going to be a Vegas contest?
It might be. I don't know. Well, we need to discuss it. So ideas and, me just sending you the ship, it won't win.
Right.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful model. And, these things are die-cast metal. I mean, yes, parts of it are plastic, but paint job on these things is incredible. There's heft and weight to them, even though they are anywhere between 3 and 4.5 inches long. The Enterprise D is exceptional. It's a beautiful, beautiful little model. And they're also they're kind of hard to come by. So I even asked these guys, I was like, I'll send it back to you. And they were like, no, it was our mistake. You keep it. We'll send you the right one. And I said, well, maybe I'll give it away at a contest or something. And they were like, God, that'd be awesome. So I'm like, okay,
right on.
cool.
Sounds like they're very easy to work with.
I really wanted to come out publicly and say, you guys, the customer service at Starships, the Star Trek Starships is awesome. They're wonderful. And they're most efficient on Facebook. So if you have any problems, you just give them your account number and a little history, and you open up a new message and you send them a note on Facebook, and somebody responds to you within an hour. It's great.
Ooh, maybe get Mark Cushman to sign it, the author of Sarek.
I'm not sure. I mean, it would be really cool. It's unopened right now. It's in its packaging. The packaging makes it a little difficult for signing because it's like
they could sign the box.
They could probably sign the box. So
wait, isn't there a magazine?
There is a magazine that goes with it too. Yes.
There's plenty of room to sign on that.
There you go. You are a wise man.
That's what you pay me for.
Kipley can kiss it and leave some lipstick on it.
Yes, I don't know.
Sorry, I just went somewhere else.
Well, either way, we'll think of ideas.
If y'all haven't listened to our supplemental with Kipley and the swarthy James Kerwin, you really need to, because Kipley fits in with us like immediately.
Yeah. And speaking of which, supplemental logs, did you realize that our 47th supplemental log extra thing happened this last week?
Yes.
I did. Because you sent me an email and said, oh my God, it's the 47th supplemental log.
Yep.
Yay for the ladies of Star Trek Online. I'm glad they were it.
So much
that was
fun.
awesome.
I had some splaining to do about why Zero was such a good roommate.
Yeah, because she did interfere. Let's face it, she was a great roommate. Poor Thomas. I still remember him sleeping, rolling in that one morning. God, that was a funny morning.
Look who's rolling in.
Look who's rolling in at 6 a.m. in your Star Trek uniform, all muscled and tussled, with a big-ass grin on his face. That's what the fun part was. It was just that smirk, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, it was more
smirk.
like when he just kind of fell face down onto the bed and went to sleep. And at one point, I turned around and looked at Maria and I just kind of shrugged as
Well, Was it the I ate the whole thing?
I can't say that. I didn't even know who he was with. So.
Oh.
Yeah. No, he was coming in from a night, Mike.
He was coming in from a night. It was pretty funny. It was pretty darn funny. Now, what other news do we have? Star Trek news. Got through that. All right. I say we just jump into Star Trek Online news real quick.
I want to play Star Trek Online.
Engineering here. Warp engines are online.
Course laid in, Captain.
Engage.
Your ship.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Your crew.
Move out.
Your destiny.
Season 9.
I am tier 5 on all reputations.
Excellent. Good for you.
Congratulations.
Good for you. Season 9.5 went live. We got some. So we have some.
Is that a Klingon grunt of disapproval? Uh-oh.
I have 15 characters, and across all 15 characters, I had one stack of each of the original type of crafting material, one stack of 250 on each character, plus whatever they had miscellaneous in their inventory. Do you know how long it's going to take me to sort through all of that shit?
You have to click one by one.
Yeah, and I can only do one at a time. It's maddening. I spent hours the first day, and I haven't even made it.
I understood they knew that was going to be a problem, but tech-wise, they didn't have any other way to guarantee correct translation.
I have my R&D inventory is full.
Wow.
I have stuff in my overflow bag, and then I had to give stuff away because I have so much of it. It's like, help! I'm drowning in craftables.
Oh, well, now I know what I'll be doing this afternoon. Yeah, Cushy, you have to convert these things over to the new materials one by one. They can't do it in stacks. They can't do it in multiples. It has to be done one by one. And it was an issue that we knew about that existed on Tribble. And I don't even want to know what, oh my word. And
I was waiting for you to see that.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Focus.
Yeah, I'm trying to focus.
All right, I'm really just going to say it's hard to focus when there's a humongous dildo in our chat room.
And one that squirts.
Lotion.
That thing, wow.
Yeah.
That is like the C-17 of dildos.
What was the naked villain guy in the superhero movie? The naked villain. Silver Surfer typey kind of dude. What was his name? Mr. Doctor something or other?
Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. All blue and veiny. Oh,
it's very veiny.
All right. Oh,
let me just say,
if
she can handle that,
back to crafting.
Steve, if you're gonna write backwards and try and pimp your thing, at least put the words so the sentence is not like from the last word to the first. Make it from the first word to the last.
Well, he made you do it. He made you figure it out.
As soon as I saw backwards writing, I knew it was him.
Well, season 9.5 does bring out the new crafting system, and yes, one of the things that we knew was a problem when it was on Tribble is the conversion, and it was the biggest problem in the on Tribble. It was the biggest complaint in the forums on the Tribble aspect of the new crafting system was, isn't there any other way to convert all of this crap over? And the answer came down to no, not being able to guarantee that the conversion wouldn't go well. So they're making us all convert to the new items on a one-by-one basis. So there are people who have, and I know this for a fact, tens of thousands of these things because they probably went out and hoarded.
I've been saving since day one of Stowe. That's how long I've been saving.
Oh,
and
it's a lot of work.
I've converted everything, and I've actually started going through the process of now doing the actual crafting, trying to change over the materials into something useful within the system. I'm on level 4, but oh my gosh. I mean, you can only do one. Again, you only do one at a time, and you have to wait 5 seconds. And it's just like, give me a batch, the ability to do batches.
Oh, please isolate that.
Give me a batch?
Yeah.
Give me a batch. Okay.
You made Steve go away.
Oh, he'll be back to that. Mike, you see that? Real-Time 82 says he had a slider that can convert 100 at a time.
Oh, that's to take the regular ones to the new ones. Yes. That's how I was able to get through billions of them at one time. But I'm actually talking about once you have the new craftables, to work with those, you only do one at a time. And I'm
so glad I don't craft.
I've got 15 stacks of each type, and each stack is not 999 of them.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
And I have 15 stacks of each type. Okay?
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm going to be there until I'm, 110, because, Klingons are they live a long time. So I'm going to be there until 110.
Actually, they shouldn't.
If they don't die in battle, they live a long time.
Yeah.
All right.
See, that's what Klingons aspire to, is to die young in battle, and if they don't, then they grow old and
great Klingon.
And then they die of the Norette, which gives them no honor.
Every major rocker who died at the age of 28.
Janis Joplin, Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Cobain.
No. Not with the way he died.
Oh, that's right. Offing yourself doesn't count.
Yeah, there's no honor in that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Sorry,
well, actually, there is a little bit. There's a lot of conditions.
Mike, I'm listening.
There's a lot of conditions. I don't know them all by heart at the moment. I'm still sleeping.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, there is a lot to learn. I am going to get into the game today and kind of brush some things up. Beth needs to get back up and running in it, because after the Ryza thing, he was on vacation mode for a long time.
Yeah.
She stayed at Ryza and used up a lot of her leave. So now that she's got to get back into the swing of things, I'm going to get her a new ship, but I want to wait to get her one of the new fleet ships.
Beth got a rare tweet this week from
she did
from somebody
and from Vicky.
Yeah,
loving that.
Don't worry, Aunt Beth, I got this.
And so
bye, Lanny.
Bye, Lanny. And the
Sun say all ritual suicide
notes,
because you're married to Courtney Love doesn't count.
Terry, that's the tab you want. I'm putting the patch note link into the chat room. There is a lot of stuff now. A lot of the stuff that I was surprised about was the stuff that Maria, that Zero was talking about with regards to the adds to the Foundry, which are a lot of ships that are now available. Plus, fleet material options have been added to existing fleet ship classes. Mirror Universe material options have been added to existing Mirror Universe ship classes. And numerous ground uniforms have been added to the ground costume creator. So the Bortoscu variants, the Odyssey variants, the TOS medical upper, the TOS dress uppers 1 through 3, the TOS tunics. The Akira family of ships have had their names updated, and the the Gavama costume pieces have had their display names corrected as well. And then, of course, the Interact for Star Cluster sector doors can now be used for Foundry missions. Star Cluster maps still cannot be accessed, which makes sense because the Star Clusters went away.
Regarding the use of numerous in the patch notes here.
Yes.
She uses numerous in referring to the ships, and numerous again when she refers to the costumes. There is a distinct disparity between those two uses of numerous.
There were a lot of ships. But the costumes, she's saying numerous because she's counting the variants as differences.
And must also each individual piece as well, because there's like only a handful of actual costumes. That's what she's doing.
That's right. Now, one of the other things that you guys have to see, and I wasn't sure, I'll put the link into the chat room. But did you notice that Thomas the cat has updated and has put up that there is a Starfleet uniform code now that they've put into the game.
Yes.
It is all consistent. It's very beautiful. And he's all put it into a beautiful PDF format for people who want to use it as reference. I'm putting the link into the chat room now. It is incredible the amount of work that he put into standardizing the uniforms in the game, and I'm loving it. I think it's beautiful.
And he says that currently there's no plan to do it to the Klingons.
You know what, though? I don't know. I don't know if that bothers me so much. I see Klingons as being a little bit less formal about their uniforms.
I don't.
You don't?
Really?
I don't. Klingons, they're an army.
But you've got the ones that are wearing sleeveless, then you've got the ones dressed like Martok, then you've got the ones with the big furry arms. Go back
all
and
in
watch
the same
again.
movie, and all on the same ship.
I think that those are ranked versions, and some of them could also be civilian.
No,
you know?
Go back and watch the like the Deep Space Nine that Keith just did his rewatch on, the one where Jadzia and Worf go with Martok on the mission.
Yeah, I was just never really under the impression that they I don't want to say squelched individuality, but kind of squelched individuality that way. They were more about what makes you the warrior that you are, and if you're comfortable in whatever keeps you at your best is what they would kind of let you wear, and that no standardized much. I didn't even see them having the same type of uniform for generals.
Now the
everybody seemed to dress
Klingons were far more standardized.
No, well,
that's true.
From the way that I understood it, there is a set standard for battle armor. Okay, now when you're not in battle, you're not going to wear your armor on the bridge when you're just traveling from point A to point B, right? It just doesn't quite work. You're going to get exhausted before you even pull out your bat left. So I mean,
maybe I guess I always thought that they would wear their house ranks or their house because they all had.
Well, I think it also every graduating class, so to speak, every generation would have their own. So it probably also has to do with when they joined the Empire and stuff like that. To me, it just seems like the Klingons would be one that would have a set guideline as well.
I don't see it like that because I see it more like Vikings or something where it's just what's the most badass to that one.
Yeah, you show up and you answer to who you're told to answer to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about the Romulans? Should they have a uniform?
They're far more regimented.
Well, no, not even no. I don't see that.
I do.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Maybe when the Tal Shiar were still running the show, but now that they're pretty much civilians.
You mean
now?
Yeah.
No, now they're now they're more. They're more like they're more like during, say, our Revolution or Civil War, more like our Revolution. We're different, just because it was what they were able to get at the time because of their circumstances.
It doesn't bother me that the non-com or the other personnel walking around on the Romulan command center don't match.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that way. I love the fact that it sits that way.
For me, it makes
if I walk around my ship and they're all wearing the same uniform, it's awesome.
For me, it makes more sense that the Romulans don't have a set uniform code than it does for the Klingons. I think the Klingons
because the Romulans are just they're coming out of refugee status. Basically.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of them are civilians. The resources are tight. It makes sense for the Romulans, but the Klingons, they've had an active army for how long? Longer than the Federation's been around. So to me, it seems like if there's, at least in terms of battle armor, there should be a set standard. That's my.
Kush brings up a good point. He says he enjoys agreeing with me. Klingons do not have formalized standard and procedures. For fuck's sake, you get ranked by killing your boss, maybe. Morning, Marvin.
Hey,
Good morning,
Marvin. Call back here. I miss my full.
I also have one more thing to say about the crafting real quick.
Go for it.
Walking around Kronos, I'm seeing a lot of people with 1,000-mile stare. They're all standing in one place doing crafting for sometimes hours on end, just standing there. You have no idea what they're doing. I know.
Oh my God, that's funny.
There should be an emote or some kind of something, where maybe a little hologram that pops up.
That they're crafting.
Yeah, they're doing something and not, just AFK for 3 days.
That is a good point.
You see the same thing if you go to any exchange. You just see 1,000 people with 1,000-yard stare going on.
Yeah, but if they're at the exchange doing something, there's an emote involved.
You know what it looks like when you're walking around and people are crafting, just standing there? What the fuck? I had it. Oh, I just lost it. A Return of the Archons.
Oh.
Remember before the Red Hour, how everybody just walked around? Blessed be the body.
Yeah. So I think that's one addition that they should make is attach some kind of emote or some kind of like little holographic effect to let people know that
put a
they're
golden
doing
glow
something.
around them.
Well, I didn't think that. I was thinking like, bring up just a teeny tiny little holographic image, and have their hand like wave around.
That's not
or even just have the hands moving like a mime, but like you know what I mean? So it looks like they're manipulating. So, Terry, like the dude on
even
on
just
Alphas,
the tricorder.
like the dude on Alphas that saw the EM span.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. Even just operating a pad, bringing out a pad.
Give us something because otherwise, otherwise we have no idea what's happening, and it just looks weird. People just, they're undermined. They're playing that one game from TNG with the glasses. They're just
the game.
Ooh, I just got level 33.
Hilarious. Oh my God, Mike, we have to make this happen now. I call for the game emote. The game emote.
Marvin Dennis just said about Landru. I still want to get a group together to do like some of the people from that planet and then some of us as Archons, the lawgivers walking around the convention. Hello, friends.
Oh my God. Marvin, you're cracking me up. So those are the links for the new stuff. Now let's talk about the cons.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shall we just start right off the bat with a Las Vegas update?
Are we still talking Vegas, right?
We are.
Vegas.
Yes. You're coming to Vegas, right?
Star Trek Las Vegas may take place every August, but on this show...
This is where we hang out the rest of the year.
Exactly.
The crew has been fatigued now from so many months in space, and they need to take a break. The landing party has been down to check out the terrain while the crew gets ready to play. They say there's only plant life living on this lovely rock, but a rodent appears wearing a vest.
I have con news. I have personal con news.
Okay.
I have my new scan.
Yay!
I want pictures.
Nope. Oh, well, not until the convention. Only one person has seen it, and that is for very specific reasons. I let Tanya, our friend Tanya, see it because she will not be able to be there, and I want. She said I totally made her day. Yeah, so I let her see it because it's Tanya, and I wanted to get her opinion, and she was like, "Oh my God!" I went with a different color. I am not command red.
Did you go engineering?
I'm sorry, what?
You went with engineering.
I'm sorry, what? I did not.
Oh. Interesting. Very interesting.
Who says I went with a color you saw on screen? Maybe I went Deep Space Nine colors.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, interesting.
That'd be really
Science
fun.
green?
Maybe I went with something we haven't seen. You don't know. You're going to have to wait to see.
I'm looking
He went plaid.
Oh, that'd be
tartan.
Awesome.
I went tartan.
He went Campbell Clan tartan.
No, but it looks really good.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Very excited.
Well, now what's going on with Baltimore Comic Con, my dear?
No new news.
Okay.
We are 47 days from Baltimore Comic Con, so very fitting for this show.
Very, very fitting for the show.
But remember, it's it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 5th, 6th, and 7th. Friday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And that's awesome. And thank you to the people at Baltimore Comic Con for allowing us to send our correspondence.
Yes.
And
I'm trying to find
I know we need to hear from Steve what news there might be with Destination London. Although I understand that the TNG crew will all be there now because Sir Patrick did announce his appearance at Destination Star Trek London.
Yeah, I saw that they've got the full crew. Does that include Wesley?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. I think so. He tends to go to non-creation events, so it might be.
Terry, I've seen that look on your dogs.
Which one?
Before you see what happened upstairs.
There's something. Oh, I know. Yeah, I've seen that look on my puppy's faces too. Big babies.
No, don't call him in the room, please. Do we have to put up with Steve?
I'll kick him out afterward, but let him give a report on the...
Yay for Steve!
It'll take him a minute to get in here. So
yeah, well, he's British. They don't move very quick.
Oh my God. Dayton Ward posted. Well, let me see. That's
we don't
news.
have
We'll
an
talk
Ask
about
Dayton.
book news in a bit.
We don't have an Ask Dayton, and that's totally my fault because when we found the unexploded ordnance at work this week, I lost all sense of time and reality of to where things were and what was going on.
What other cons do we want to? All right,
Shore Leave is the same weekend.
That's it. Thank you.
So if someone cannot make Las Vegas, and they're on the East Coast, Baltimore,
please let us know.
Shore Leave.
But the people at Shore Leave, I mean, it's going to be great. They have the Seekers panel, and I'm dying to hear what they're going to say at Seekers panel.
Yes, whoever's going, record it for us.
Star Trek Seekers book number 1 is already out on the bookshelves right now in a few stores in the United States that has not yet been. I know, Chloe, it's sad, huh? We want Seekers. Oh my word! That was so sad. That was her. She was all crying. Oh.
See, she wanted us to be able to go to the boat.
So Shore Leave, I know. I wanted to be able to go to both. But my iTunes does not release the electronic version of it until Tuesday. Bums me out to know.
Next month is Seekers 2.
Right.
Electric Boogaloo.
Is Steve in the chat room?
No, I'm watching for him.
All right. Well, then let's talk about Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yep.
Some
Steve,
pretty
you
big
lost
news
your window.
came out this week, huh?
Steve lost his window.
Big news, actually, for Star Trek Las Vegas. Did you see
I already
it?
said I got the scan.
Yeah, well, that too. So Simon Pegg was announced as an attendee.
Really?
Big news. Very, very excited. Simon Pegg, Scotty in the JJ films, whom I adore. I think he's great. Has been announced and will be appearing on Saturday. He'll be doing photo ops. He'll be on panel on stage and doing autographs. So awesome. Very, very cool. And that brings it all up. He was the final announced guest, and that brings their total to 104. So it's 104 that will be attending. We all know that Harlan Ellison was announced last week. Harlan Ellison, writer of The City on the Edge of Forever. It'll be an interesting panel for which I have a feeling it's going to be me attached to the booth the entire week. So I won't be able to see a lot of the panels, but I expect reports.
I am sorry, Terry.
No, don't be.
I have a complaint about a regular con attendee, and this is really gonna, as if people don't hate me enough already. I got very upset with George Takei this week.
Oh?
Stop with the Shatner bashing.
No,
it's old. Move on. You've done all this other stuff.
Well, the problem is that it's not like he's the one bringing it up. Let's face it. Every interview he sits down on, people know that they're going to get clickbait out of it, right? So they ask him the question. They bring it up.
Just say I've discussed. Do a Tarantino and say I've talked about this before. Let's discuss what the other things I'm here for.
Yeah.
Don't make me use Tarantino as a positive reference. But I don't know. It just seemed gratuitous at this point.
We do have some cancellations.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Bruce Greenwood is unable to attend.
Nobody's chaining Terry to a table. She'll be able to go because God knows if there's something I want, I'm just walking away. That's why Janice is there. No, I did not say that. Stop it.
So Scott Bakula got a new role.
Oh, good for him.
He'll be on NCIS New Orleans.
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding. And he will only be attending the convention on Saturday.
Oh, at least he's still going to be there.
Yeah, he'll be there. Robert Duncan McNeil had to cancel. He also got new work. Sherry Jackson was on. Sherry Jackson. She was a U.S. actress, and she is unable to attend due to medical issues.
Oh, well, get better.
Salome Jens, who of course played the female changeling, she will be unable to attend. Ethan Phillips has booked an acting job and will be unable to attend the convention. And let's see, who did they announce since then? Evan English. And if you guys don't know Evan, he's a sweet guy. Evan was on Ensign Tanner on Star Trek Enterprise. He's kind of like that, the perma secondary character, the extra who never really gets a lot of lines. I want to say he only had like 2 or 3 lines in the whole show.
He's like Mr. Leslie.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, and he's a sweet guy. Chris Ryle. Chris Ryle is the chief and creative officer and editor-in-chief of IDW Publishing, who publishes the Star Trek.
He had to drop out?
No, he's there. These are people they announced. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Evan will be there. Chris Ryle will be there. Don Marshall, best known for his starring role on 51 episodes of Land of the Giants. Trekkies know him from his appearance on the classic Trek in the episode Galileo 7, and he was Boma.
Steve, mute your mic because we're getting echo.
Morgan Gendel, who we know announced. Sean Kenny, we know announced. Barry Jenner. So a few people were unable to make it, but that's all.
I'm upset about the changeling because that's what I'm going to call her.
Jen. She was there last year.
So they're even with those cancellations, are they still going to be over 100 celebrities?
They're over. That's 104 even with the cancellations because they always have a few people kind of sitting in the back to.
Cool.
They called up some players from AAA.
Pretty much. It's exactly it. They brought him to the show.
I do have a Vegas announcement.
Great.
Our friend Larry Nemeck brought this to my attention.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say. That's kind of cool.
During STLV Vegas, there will be a rare chance to see the new big screen bio documentary, The Green Girl, about Susan Vina, Oliver's incredible life. Yeah, Susan. She played Vina on Star Trek TOS. It'll be 9 p.m. Thursday, July 31st, at an IMAX just a couple blocks from the Rio. This is an on-demand Gathr screening and an excellent chance to catch it if you have Thursday open, plus a post-panel after. And there's 60 seat minimum, so they need you to let them know that you're interested.
Do they have a price attached to that, Mike?
I don't see one in this post.
Okay.
Don't forget there is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and there's plenty of time to catch this, and then make it to the official Star Trek Continues fairest of them all.
Now,
downtown.
which we also need to talk about because the Star Trek Continues episode 3 showing that they're doing at the AMC Theater is limited seating. There's only like 400 seats. It's my understanding. It's a smaller theater, and the reason why they had to be put into the smaller theater was because Guardians of the Galaxy opens that same night. So the bigger theater is going to the one that is going to bring in a lot of people. And seats are available on a first come first served basis, which means that you'll have to stand in line for them. I don't know
so you
when
can't get them ahead of time.
Oh, damn. So, well,
you
we're
think Kipley
going
and
to be
James?
sending
Can we get in with Kipley and James?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not counting on it. Either way, standing in line with our friends would be a blast.
Yeah. And also, did you get... Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
To answer Nick's question, it looks like it's $10.50 to reserve your ticket for The Green Girl.
Cool, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Okay, cool.
And did you get the invite from John Champion, Terry?
I did.
Yes.
We're going to be hopefully getting together as a podcasters group with Priority One, with people from Mission Logs, and the other wonderful podcasters that we have. Some people from Trek Radio will be there and stuff. And we're going to get together and have, probably a podcaster summit, but we don't know how formal this will be. And I don't even know if we're going to record anything. We'll see.
And also the Masquerade get together on Wednesday night.
Right.
Is it Wednesday night or Thursday?
For what?
The Masquerade get together?
That's Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That I think that's Wednesday night. So the con is on, and we're starting to get all of that information out there. Don't forget, if you're going to be in Las Vegas, the G&T show will have a booth in the vendor's room. It will be attended by both James Kerwin and Kipley Brown, actress from Star Trek Enterprise, as well as RUR Genesis and Yesterday Was a Lie, and Star Trek Continues. We're very excited to have her there. We will also be having, she has a small agreement with David Gerald, which I think is very sweet. She has an agreement with David Gerald, and she's going to help push the tribbles.
Nice.
So
good. As if we didn't have enough on our table last year.
Yeah. So there's going to be a very large pile of tribbles on the table in front of Kipley.
And if you, like I said, if you haven't listened to our supplemental with her, Kipley fits in very well with our table.
She's a very funny lady. We love her very much.
And her attorneys and mine have corresponded about the restraining order, so everything's good to go.
Yeah, his buffer has been expanded.
You ain't kidding.
All right.
That's what she said. So let's
bring Midnight Shadow.
Let's do it.
Into the conversation first.
Come on, Stevie.
Hello.
Welcome, honey.
Greetings.
How is everybody?
Good. So what's going on? What announcements can you tell us? What's going on with DST?
Well, you mentioned that they've already got Sir Patrick Stewart attending, but they have also said that they've got a couple of others which are now attending. That includes Anthony Montgomery, who played Travis Mayweather from Enterprise, and the Doctor, Robert Picardo. So those three are now attending.
Awesome.
So,
very, very cool.
Now, because they now have the full TNG crew, it's messed up some of the photo things they were doing, because the photo ops for the groups now include Sir Patrick.
Oh, so the price went up.
So the price went up. Now, people can upgrade existing tickets they've got. I think it's an extra £50.
Wow.
Wow.
So
even I don't understand that.
Is that like $150 US?
It's about 70, I think.
Yeah,
it's like £1.50, so like 75 or 80.
Okay, Steve, I do have an honest question for you because I was watching an interview this week. What does a quid? I don't know if you know the translate. What does a quid translate to for American money?
I think it's about 60 cents.
Oh, wow. Because I was watching an interview with John Lydon, and they were talking about when they were in the Pistols, and they were making like 14 quid a week.
Wow.
And it would have been way less than that back in the 70s, right?
70s,
because of the inflation and the money troubles Britain was going through at the time.
Okay, I've just checked. £1 or £1 is $1.70.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
A pound and
it's
a
the
quid
other way
is the
around.
same?
Yeah,
Right.
I was doing it the other way around.
Right. Yeah. No, I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
£1 is roughly just over $1.50. And like you said, 170. So
yeah, the current
it costs
exchange
us
rate
more
is
for their one.
I have a question for Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard anything about James Swallow and Una McCormick attending?
No, not yet. I have contacted them again, asking for them to be invited, because they do have some other writers, although they are, like Larry, he's being brought in for some other things, not his books. So, I am trying to sort of keep those two sort of in the eye.
Perhaps we should ask our listeners who are living in the UK area, in Europe, who are planning to attend to send Star Trek Destination a message to bring our favorite authors.
Heck, I'm just saying now that if James Swallow wants to attend, I'll send Steve money. He can buy your drinks.
Oh yeah.
So, but no, it'd be great because they've got Nicholas M. Meyer and of course Larry, who are both writers. There.
Nick Meyer's going to be there?
Yeah.
The director?
Yeah, director and writer. And they've also got Brian Fuller, who's a writer as well.
Hey, Creation, look who they got. You fucks.
And we've got
we
Sir
love
Patrick
you, Creation.
Stewart.
I gotta be careful.
Yes, we need to be careful.
I'm just trying to get them to include some of the novelists as well, because especially as they're the ones sort of continuing any sort of Trek storyline, especially in the Prime universe as well.
Well, and I was thinking about, I'm so glad you said that, Steve, because I was thinking about, because Creation doesn't do anything with the authors, but these are officially licensed CBS products, these books, and they've kept the franchise going in the 12 years between each of the new JJ films. So I don't understand their aversion to. Well, don't get me started.
Yeah, no, because they just have the idea, and it's not a flawed idea. I hate to say
it's not. It's not.
It's not a flawed idea that people are drawn by the television celebrities, and they are by the people who read. There's an automatic assumption that the majority of people will pay money to go see somebody who's on the screen as opposed to somebody who doesn't.
They absolutely will.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't dispute that at all. If you tell me that I don't know, give me a really secondary character from Trek. Okay, guy that played Edrington. There you go. Only in a few episodes. Eddington. Only in a few episodes.
Right.
But if you tell me he's going to be there, or if you say that Dayton's going to be there, and this is not a slam on Dayton anyway, people will know Eddington.
Right.
And that,
it's true.
Now,
yes.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it make sense to offer to bring in some writers, not as the draw, but as a way to bring attention to them, because people may not realize, wait, there's people writing Star Trek books, and they're good.
Steve is a really good example of that. You hadn't read, and then you were listening to us, and now look at you.
Yeah, so 20 decades.
We're sorry,
decades.
Steve.
Sorry.
Yeah. But,
decades
there's
I haven't
somebody
read a
else.
book.
We got an email.
Yeah.
Who was it? Hold on, let me look.
The thing is, it's not just James and Una who live locally either.
Right.
You've got, was it Diane Duane, who I think lives in Ireland?
He does
So
live in Ireland.
it's not that, it's a huge distance to come to London. So we could very easily get people, they could be doing book signings, and as well as selling novels there as well.
I do think book signings would draw people.
Oh, I don't disagree.
But the thing is, well, how much of the way do they do in sort of novels and that at STLV?
Well, they're all going to be at Shore Leave because they're pushing all of the books at Shore Leave this year because Shore Leave is small and they know their niche market. They're drawing people who, let's face it, we seriously considered not going to STLV this year and covering Shore Leave instead because the novelists are all there. But let's face it, I chose to do STLV because it's kind of a historical thing now. We do the schlep across the desert, and it is fun because most of our friends are there. So we were kind of split between what do we do and where do we draw. Well, to be honest with you, if I'm buying a booth, I'm going to get more foot traffic at STLV.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we can get more exposure. My goal, which is our goal, is to get people to listen to the show. And if we're talking about the books and get them to be interested in the book, then, I didn't necessarily want to preach to the choir if I can preach to people who don't know about books yet. So that's kind of why we chose STLV this year. But it doesn't mean that we don't love. I want to go to Shore Leave, and I want to hang with the novelists and talk to them about storytelling. So, Steve, now that you're here,
you can go.
When's the next book club? We said August 6th.
Yeah, we've provisionally put August 6th, but that depends on how you guys feel after STLV.
Oh, that's a good point.
So.
Because that's my last day. You know what? That's my last day of vacation. I go back to work on August 7th. I actually took a couple of days after that. I've learned the hard way. First of all, going back on the Monday after the convention, no. No. And I extended it out a couple of days because it's just so much sleep.
Yeah, because I have a feeling we're going to be missing a lot of sleep.
I don't know.
Oh my God, it's going to be horrible.
But yeah, we've penciled in the 6th of August, which is Wednesday, where we'll be discussing Cold Equations, The Persistence of Memory by David Nemeck.
Excellent. So,
or as I like to call it, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Well, thank you, Steve. We appreciate you coming in and talking about DST. We'll bring you in again when there's more announcements coming up. I know that it starts. Give us the dates again, if you would.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Yep, it's the beginning of October, the 3rd to the 5th.
That's really good because we have STLV, and then September we've got Baltimore, and then we've got Steve doing that. So that's good. It's one of the things that we've really branched out now into getting more convention. And if you're in our listenership and you go to a convention, please send us pictures and
let us know.
Update something like that. And I was talking.
I'm wondering how Starfleet Mom is dealing with San Diego Comic Con, because I know a lot of people are doing that this weekend or next weekend, right?
She's going to be so exhausted by the end of STLV.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But did you see that she got a ticket to a private meeting with Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Her life
jealous.
is horrible.
I know, it's horrible.
Can we recruit her as a correspondent for?
I think we can. I think we can. I'll I agree.
Is Kevin going to be there?
I don't know.
If so, you know what? Let's get in touch with him and ask if he can just shoot us some photos.
Well, we'll definitely hit up Christine and see if she doesn't mind sharing her stuff with us. That would be awesome.
Okay, security can show Steve out now.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, sir.
See ya.
That's it. Take it.
You're
Cuff him if you have to. Cuff him if you have to.
We love it. So don't forget, August
Steve
6th,
would love to be cuffed. Never mind.
August 6th, we will be talking about the first book in the Cold Equation series, Persistence of Memory. So read it because it's fun, and I loved it. I really did. I loved it.
It was really good.
So we need to talk about some books.
Yes, talk about books.
See, now we're supposed to be talking about books.
Books. They're these bound things with paper and words.
I've heard tales of the dead tree format, but I don't believe them. No, you're wrong. They're this thing that you put on your Kindle.
Amazon, ebook. If you haven't bought applauded. I will cunt punch you. That's a great line.
It's a good line.
Do you read Star Trek novels?
I'm sure Swallow has some stories he could tell us.
I love big books and I can't lie.
That's one of the really good things in life.
To me, as long as it's enjoyable to read.
That's a good book. Wasn't it a good book, Mike?
It was.
That's because Mackenzie Calhoun is badass.
No, it is not a Cardassian generational epic.
I was like in heaven.
It's really good.
Right on.
We need to talk about the books. I was a reading fool this week.
Me too.
And I finished.
I actually was too.
I finished The Fall.
Yay!
It took me a little bit of. I have to say, it took me a little bit of time to get through Ceremony of Losses. It did. It became a book that I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just the characters that were. I don't want to say what it was. It just took me a while to get through it, and so. After talking with James Swallow, I was kind of reinvigorated to finish out the series because I really wanted to find out what was happening with Titan and the gang. And so I said, okay, I really need to get through this. So I finished out Ceremony of Losses, and it was more or less, for me, it was a bit of a chore. I was like, oh. And I have to admit, I was getting really tired of the politics. And of course, it only got worse in the next book.
Yeah, The Fall is very political in terms of the whole series, but I'm which is kind of why I went after reading The Fall, or what I read this week was I finished Full Circle, Star Trek Voyager, and I also read Unity, finished that book. So I'm now getting into exploration, so that's what I've been needing, and now I'm reading Titan. I can't think of the name.
The Red King or Taking Wing?
It is Over a Torrent Sea. I've already read the first four books.
My favorite book.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I'm halfway through it already.
I'll tell you, it was a fascinating read. I just didn't like what they did with two of the characters. So much so that I had a conniption fit. It's the only time I've ever raged personally on an author. I went apeshit. Yeah, James Swallow remembers my rant.
I remember it. I remember it.
There's two characters.
Oh, no, I'll let you finish it. I don't want to bias you because I know a lot of people who adore this book, who adore Over a Torrent Sea. I know a lot of people who adore it and think that I'm crazy. I was just, I threw the book against the wall.
Okay.
It left a mark. I was pissed. I was so pissed. So, we'll talk about that when you're done.
But I can understand what you're saying about The Fall being so political, and you just kind of sort of get burned out with it,
Yeah.
See, I like that. I really do, but I like political thrillers anyway.
Yeah.
But again, for me, getting back to an exploration story afterward was exactly what I needed. I mean, The Fall was fantastic.
Yep.
The everything. I mean, I want to know what happens to the people in it. But it was nice getting to something going back to Star Trek's roots, so to speak. And at the end of The Fall, you kind of sets that up anyways. So looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it. I loved, and I have to say, and right after I read The Fall, I read the ebook of open it up here. Why can't I remember the name? But it was the Titan ebook that was written by John Jackson Miller. Is that his name?
Oh, the follow-up?
Yeah. And
I haven't read that one. How was that?
Okay, I have to say, I you know how picky I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There we go. Yeah. It's called Absent Enemies, and it was written by, I don't want to, like I said, his John Jackson Miller. Right. Now, John Jackson Miller, best-selling author of Star Wars Kenobi, Star Wars Knight Errant, Star Wars Lost Tribe of the Sith, The Collected Stories, and 15 Star Wars graphic novels, as well as Overdraft, The Orion Offensive. He's written several franchises, including Conan, Iron Man, Indiana Jones, Mass Effect, and The Simpsons. This is his first Star Trek book. So here's the Riker fan reading the Riker book by a guy who's never written Star Trek before, and he's writing Riker. And I have to give this guy credit. He did really, really well. It is 113 pages ebook. It is a fast read. He gets the characters. He does extraordinarily well with Christine Vale, who I don't think I'm really discussing spoilers here. I won't discuss, but at this point in time, at the end of The Fall, Riker is an admiral, and he picks up.
We discussed that before.
Right, we discussed it with James Swallow, and in the ebook, Riker is still an admiral and is dealing with that new role, so to speak. And Christine Vale is the temporary captain of the Titan. She's still a commander. She has not been elevated in rank, but but she is the CO of the Titan. So Riker's flagship right now is Titan, but he's not in the command chair, which I loved. How it's supposed to be. The Admiral should be freaking getting his own chair. And so the relationship that is starting to develop between Riker and Vale is totally believable and awesome. And Riker has to deal with a diplomatic mission. Yeah, not his forte. I'm just saying, I know that as a Riker fan, not his forte. So he's being thrown into the position of being like a Picard, and he's not happy about it. And to say he's not happy about it is hilarious. There's an entire scene where the bridge crew, so it's Christine and Troy and Tuvok and everybody, and Riker gets a call from command from a car and goes into the ready room and he shuts the door, and Troy knows that something's wrong because she can sense what's going on, and she's got that look like, oh crap. And then all of a sudden there's a very loud thump against the wall of the ready room. And you realize that Riker had picked up a chair and threw it against the wall.
Wow.
It was the funniest scene. I was like, that is totally how he reacted. So I loved it. I just loved this guy pegs him. He did a really good job. I was very impressed, and it was a very fun, interesting, exploratory story. I really had a good time with it. So John Jackson Miller, well done on Absent Enemies. I had a great time, and the fall was fantastic and interesting. But here's the question I have for you guys. And Nick, I know that you're a political kind of thriller lover, but you know how we always talk about how we're kind of tired of the whole bad Federation, bad Admiral, bad President thing? Mm-hmm. I think the fall has beaten that dead horse now.
I certainly hope that they're seriously ready to move on. I'm ready for some exploration.
I was just like, really? After there was one or two references and especially from Riker, because of the whole Minzeef thing, right?
Yeah.
When he was Tezwa and the whole Tezwa.
Yeah.
Oh. And I thought to myself, yeah, I mean, how many times do you have to? So I have to say to Simon and Schuster and to the Star Trek people, okay, can we have enough? We're done now. I'm done with bad admirals. I'm done with bad president. It's boring. I was actually getting a little bit frustrated. They're great, wonderfully written books. They were very exciting, especially when you kind of find out the little intrigue about trying to figure out who is who.
Yeah.
Which by the final book, where you're trying to figure out who is actually who. It says something when you are sitting down going, ooh, I wonder if it was this species. I wonder if it was this species. It keeps you guessing. That's a really well written political intrigue book. But by the end of it, I thought to myself, when it comes to Star Trek, I'm kind of done now.
See, I guess that's why I wasn't, because I really like the way that the Typhon Pact is doing things to screw with stuff, so it's not all out war, but the Federation definitely has to be vigilant, because they're going to do things like shoot down airliners over the Ukraine. Wait, what? No. And
then blame it on a Sherlock episode. I'm just saying.
So but I liked that kind of Cold War style.
It was, there were certain things, and now I feel bad because I know Cushy hasn't read it. So everybody, do yourself a favor, read.
Well, and that's why I'm trying to choose my words here,
right?
Because it's not a secret to say that with the Typhon Pact and everything, there's a lot of intrigue going on, and I think that the way I look at it is, I think there's a place for the intrigue like that, as well as the exploration, which Titan is the most suited for. And even if Peter David ever writes another New Frontiers, something along those lines.
I don't disagree. And I wouldn't mind if they broke off political intrigue within the context of the more civilian Federation side of things. The actual politician side of things would be really interesting. But I'll tell you what tired me out at the end of it was the whole fact that, political intrigue does not mean that you have to have bad admirals, bad president.
Right.
And that's what, at the end of it, I was tired, and I was like, okay, I was frustrated by that. And I thought, okay, well, it's done now. I'm looking forward to exploration when it comes to Starfleet. I'm looking forward to the political intrigue that I know that Riker's going to get his tentacles into, because he's going to be the one left at home now. At the end of the fall, you're assuming that the Enterprise is going back out, but who's now stuck at home? It's Riker and gang. So this is going to be great. It's going to be his fish out of water. He's going to be dealing with political intrigue and politics and diplomacy that he's never had to deal with before, which will make great drama for his character. And it'll allow Picard to be that first contact specialist that we've always known him to be. It's kind of getting things back. The band's getting back together, kind of thing.
Now, I'm reading, as I told you, I had read so much in a row when The Fall came out and all of that. Right now, I'm reading Sins of the Sun. It's the second book in the Grigori Legacy series by Linda Poitevin. It's an urban fantasy thing. It's very cool. Sins of the Angel, I think was the first one. It's a really interesting. It's about a Toronto homicide detective who sees a photo of an angel that saved her in the first book, and she knows that the plan to stop Armageddon's gone wrong, and she's the only person that knows who the angel really is. And then her soulmate, who was a hunter of fallen angels until he was exiled, is on Earth, and it's a whole complicated thing, and I really like it a lot. I really like the way she writes it, and you talking about political intrigue. It's funny because even in Heaven and Hell, there's political intrigue.
Oh yeah.
The One, that's what they call God. She has a deal with Lucifer as to why he hasn't wiped out humanity yet, but the whole thing is in jeopardy. So it's just really cool, and I really like the way she writes the Archangel Michael, who actually was on Earth because he had an argument 6,000 years ago with the One, and but now he's got to come back, and I really like her. It's complicated, but fun urban, and a different kind of urban fantasy.
Well, here's the thing I kind of wanted to bring up. You were talking about.
Speaking of which, go ahead.
Oh no, you first.
Kelly Mead, Medding, new book Black Rook is out.
Oh, cool.
First of her
Mead books.
Yes, her Mead books. The first of her series that just
launched.
Yeah, it's Cornerstone. It's Cornerstone Run trilogy. I wanted to make sure I had the trilogy name right.
Oh, the name right.
Yeah, Cornerstone Run. Well, please, and it's on ebook only, so please support the lovely Kelly.
Good luck. I hope she does well with it.
We do love her. Congratulations, Kelly. Now I wanted to talk briefly a little bit because you brought it up, and we were talking about political intrigue and about how they have the ability now with the Star Trek books to kind of go in different directions, and instead of doing the going back to the route, which is now the Enterprise is back out exploring, the Titan is back at home, and Riker's dealing with the political intrigue and stuff like that. But at the end of the fall, Cushy, plug your ears. At the end of the fall, there is a character there that I think has potential to be a very interesting character.
The new president?
No, like for new non-Starfleet stuff. You want to follow a mercenary.
Which one?
Oh.
Who?
With Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you
Terry,
wanted to go off the Star Trek
book
beaten
since
path.
it came out, so I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, if you really want to go off book, so to speak.
You really want to go off Starfleet and go something crazy and do all the crap that you can't do in Starfleet, they just wrote in an amazing avenue to doing stuff like that. Can you imagine a set of Thomas Riker books?
Yeah, subtitled Gone Rogue.
Gone Rogue. Mercenary for hire.
Yeah.
Tom Riker, male prostitute.
Male prostitute. Mistrust.
With a series of levers and pulleys. Thank God.
Half Trek will travel.
Half Trek will travel.
I'm so glad you remember Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
Male prostitute.
Like
Let me adjust my trash.
3 people know what we're talking about, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm okay with that.
I have a confession. There was a company I used to work for who the CEO of that company
did he look like Fred Garvin?
And sounded just like Fred Garvin. I could not listen to a shareholders meeting recording without laughing my ass off. There were a couple of times me and my coworkers would say, "God, we should send him a truss, right?"
I'm not gonna. Terry and I are not gonna tell you who Fred Garvin, male prostitute, is. YouTube it.
Yeah, oh, so funny. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think the idea of going into multiple directions is a good one. I would also like to see a relaunch of SCE books. Kind of bring that back. And you know, it could be like Rescue 911, except a little more engineering focused or something. I don't know.
I love the fact that they brought her into the fall, and you start. Yeah, they did.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah. I was too. I really was. So I was glad to see her character.
Dayton did that, wasn't it?
What was that, hon?
It was Dayton that had done that, right?
I don't. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were. That's why I gave him grief. I was like, it was in Dayton's book that in one. It didn't even click to me that he had used aeronadium as a made-up element,
either.
which I just so cute. And then, of course, every single engineer had P-38.
Yep. Oh yeah. Do you remember me tweeting that when I read it when it came out?
Yeah.
I was like, I still got mine.
Yeah, I have one. My dad gave me one, but I laughed because I thought, okay, they have like, I just had this idea of them having like Batman utility belts, and it only had one pocket, and it was a period. It's like it's the only tool an engineer ever needs.
And you know what? I think the Corps of Engineers novels, Mike, you brought that up. You know, they're still recovering from the Borg invasion and all of that. There's more than enough that the Corps of Engineers would be doing.
Yeah.
You know, with that. So that would be your 911 type thing that you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much they can do. And it's a shame that run of books hasn't been updated recently.
It was ahead of its time.
It was.
Yeah, and I think it's time to kind of bring it back or find a way to relaunch it, because it's like the Borg invasion relaunched everything, right?
But how did that
one
sell?
hasn't? At the time, apparently not as good as.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because ebooks were new.
Was it being published when the G&T show was on?
It was not.
Yeah, I think it's time to give it another try.
The G&T show commands it. We want SCE back in our lives. But
although
we're getting Seekers. Although I have to say, the Seekers kind of has a SCE element to it, right? Because we have the Sagittarius.
I suppose that is true.
I'm excited.
Can't wait.
Now, good news for Dayton Ward posted on Facebook that From History's Shadow has gone to a second printing. Congratulations.
I know. Congratulations.
Dayton. We are very happy for you. I have it here in my hand.
I want our listeners to start hashtagging need SCE. Let's get that trending. Need SCE.
I want the Da Vinci back in my life. I'm just saying.
Need SCE.
Captain
Seriously, let's get this going.
And we need some Klingon books back too.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
There's more than enough Klingon books. We need more Romulan books.
I won't disagree with that either.
I would love to see, like the Rihansu series, a Cardassian series like that.
Yeah.
See, they could just do everything. It would be so cool. Talk about a group of books about political intrigue that I would totally read.
Oh, especially with their president.
Yeah, no kidding. It would be awesome. A set of Garrick books. That's what I want.
I was trying not to spoil for somebody, and then you go and say it.
I need Garrick books. I want Tom Riker books. I want like Murderer Tom Riker. Oh my God, he was so fucking awesome in this. I loved his character in this. I loved him. Oh my God, and Dayton nails it. Dayton nails him, and how fucked up he is.
Wow, does Dayton's wife know this? I always saw Dayton as more as the bottom.
He's a Marine.
Right, more as the bottom.
Yeah. I love Johnny Bravo. I love that picture that they just posted in the chat room. That's great.
How did Johnny Bravo wind up on our... our fans just go into their own little...
Yeah, they do. Now, the chat room is its own beast. Yeah, the chat room is its own beast. So, well, guys, we need to wrap things up.
Oh, is that a little predator?
It's a little predator.
We have voicemail.
Oh,
we do.
That's right.
Yep. GNT shows, listener mail. We want to hear from you. Send your questions, comments, and suggestions to hosts@gntshow.com. Complaints should be forwarded to J.J. Abrams.
And Mike, what is this voicemail about?
Klingons of Long Island.
The Klingons of Long Island. Well, let's hear.
Yes, hello. My name is Lucara, and I was wondering if this is the place where I can audition for the Klingons of Long Island. And the reason I'm asking is because I am a Klingon on Long Island. I live in Hewlett, which is in Nassau County. It's the Five Towns area, I'll have you know. Very ritzy, very nice. But you see, I am a single mother with 3 children. They've all come back to the nest from my, it's such a wonderful thing. But anyway, I need a little help supporting them. So I'm looking for a job. In any event, I was hoping that I could audition. And anyway, if you need to contact me, you can do so through Jesper because, I don't really trust the interwebs. But anyway, my name is Lucara, and we've been here, since the 1980s. Everybody thinks that first contact happened during the time of the Annex and so on, and I'm here to tell you that's not true because, we came here in the 80s because, the big hair, it covers the ridges really nicely. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon, and I thank you for your consideration. Goodbye for now.
Now, Michael, I understand she makes an amazing Ractigino.
Oh, she does.
Oh, you just walk in the house and it just smells of Ractigino.
Thank you, Jessa. We love you, sweetheart.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yes, you got the part. Whenever we get into production, you'll be the mother.
Oh, certainly.
Oh my God!
And if you know Long Island, her joke about that is absolutely hysterical.
About the 80s?
No, about Long Island.
Yeah.
Where she is on Long Island.
We do have one more voicemail regarding Foundry from our good friend Baz.
Well, let's not push it with a good friend.
Well, my good friend.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, Sunday GT. I'm back, this time with an announcement. A number of Star Trek Online Foundry authors, myself included, have decided to start forging ahead with an idea that has been knocking around within the Starbase UGC chat channel for some time. We are looking for people interested in joining us in creating a so-called Foundry sector block outside of the game, designating an area, laying it out, creating creatures, cultures, planets, and systems to fill it, and then create an overarching story plot that occurs inside of it. We are looking for any interested person to come and join us and help develop this daring new project. Even if you aren't a Foundry author, there is still a lot to nail down, and we could use all the help we can get to make this thing a reality. If you are interested in learning more about this project, check out our forum post in the Foundry discussion section of the Stove forums, or get in contact with me via email, bazag, B-A-Z-A-G, @hotmail.com, via Twitter @Bazalonia, that is B-A-Z-A-L-O-N-I-A, or in-game through the @Bazag chat channel. Thanks.
Awesome.
He has his own chat channel in-game? Wow.
Yes.
Where it's Baz 24/7.
Christ. That is just... Oh.
That's okay. Wazzy has his own channel too.
Yeah, but that's Waz.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
this
that
is Baz we're talking about. How do you have a channel when you stab everybody that enters?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a cover charge. Yeah, that's what it is.
and by the way, Baz, very good reading. Couldn't tell you were reading from a script at all.
I would have read from a script too. That was a lot of great information. So don't forget, if you guys want to participate in the new kind of extra game zone that they are creating for the Foundry, hit those guys up over at Starbase UGC. We love them a lot. All right. I think that does it. Don't forget, we are out on so much social media right now, you guys. Please share, like, post, follow, subscribe, and get the word out to everybody that we need their support on all forms of social media. That's Twitter, it's Sunday GNT, Facebook, the GNT Show. We are on Mixcloud, to which we are doing very well over at Mixcloud. So please subscribe to us over at Mixcloud. Mike, is it under, what's the account name at Mixcloud?
I'm checking.
Okay. I think it's GNT Show, but it might be Michael Medeiros. I don't remember. You can...
GNT Show.
The GNT Show. And then we have a YouTube channel, which you can follow the link from our site, I believe.
Yeah.
And subscribe to us there. The more numbers we get, the more we'll be able to cover for you in the future, because although our website does amazing numbers and does very, very well, that's because for the past 3 years we've been directing people to download and listen from our website. A lot of conventions like to know that you're also getting good numbers and good hits on social medias. And Baltimore Comic Con has done us a great favor by extending press passes to to us to cover the Baltimore Comic Con. And we would like to be able to do more stuff like that for the future, but we need the social media numbers to back up our website numbers. So please, we appreciate it, all the support that you can get. So you can follow me on Twitter at TerryLynn S, TerryLynns. Nick?
At Gettysburg 7. That's the number 7.
Mike?
And I'm Suridium STO. That's SORIEDEMSTO.
Awesome. We love you guys.
Remember, there is no show next Sunday morning.
There's no show next Sunday morning. Pay
because
attention
we will be recovering from dinner from Saturday night.
We will be recovering from dinner on Saturday night, but Sunday night we'll be doing some form of a live stream from the New Mexico studios of the G&T show featuring the Ferris Anomaly, doing Cooking with G&T. This is something that we did 3 years ago. We're going to start it up again.
I don't think I'm going to get felt up as much this time. Well, I don't know. Jim is there. But start paying attention Saturday afternoon about noonish East Coast time when the lovely Janice and I begin our move to the airport for the flight out west. So, and then of course I will hashtag the drive with or STLV road trip.
Right. Yeah. The hashtag is STLV, or is it STLV road trip? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the hashtag
from the time on Twitter. From the time we start to move to Terry's until we arrive at the convention, and then it will turn to STLD.
There we go. And then, so no show specifically next Sunday.
Oh, thank you, Matthew.
Thank
Matthew,
you.
that makes me feel good. Thank you. No, Will and Brendan will not be there, Paul.
No, but
Allie won't. Is
maybe
it this
we can
weekend?
get him in the chat room.
Is today Brandon's big day, by the way?
Yes, it is. So congratulations to Brandon.
Yes. Our biggest, we love you guys, Pat and Brandon. Today is their wedding day in San Diego. We love you so much, Bran. Bran Flakes, many, many, many hugs and wishes. We wish we could be with you this week. And they're probably getting all married right now. Oh, God.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I think it's still a little early for it.
Oh my God, I'm just so excited. So congratulations to
Huzzah. Yes, I concur.
That's it. So no show next Sunday.
Morning.
Next Sunday night. And then we will probably pre-record the breakfast with the hungover G&T show the following Sunday. And we'll be reporting. We'll be tweeting, reporting, taking pictures from the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, which begins on Thursday, July 31st and ends on Sunday, August 3rd.
We can only hope we have servers as good as last year for the breakfast.
Yeah, I hope they're up for it.
And
I don't know what they're getting into.
Any materials that Nick and Terry bring back, I should be posting and creating all kinds of fun stuff with. So look for those soon after the Vegas one.
Awesome. All right, you guys, join us for episode 152. Oh,
from the convention.
Live, from the convention, and live. It'll probably be episode 153 on August 10th. We love you guys very much. Book club on August 6th, and we will catch you during the con. Go!
Kapla.
Chill on fucking true, bitches.
G&T show is a busy little Beaver production.
Music for the G&T show is provided by Warp 11, Gathr, 5-Year Mission, and Andrew Allen's Smooth Federation.
Gonna take a 5-year tour. Boldly go where no man's gone before. Gonna travel to the end and make new friends. Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a mini skirt on my old man. Represent the human race. And TLG.